Guys, this is unbelievable. South Africa beat South Korea by 1 goal to 0. As an African, I want to ask you this and please be honest. Are you happy for South Africa qualifying to the round of 32 after beating South Korea by 1 goal to 0? Or are you disappointed in South Korea for performing the way they did against South Africa? Let me know it down below in the comments. Honestly speaking, I'm surprised. I'm shocked at the way South Africa played that game against South Korea. I couldn't believe my eyes. Look, South Africa played differently, and the way they are moving in the World Cup is dangerous. Now they become the second African team to have qualified to the round of 32. And I see them on social media yapping nonsense, stating that the win is not for Africa, but then it's for only South Africans. They have started again. This is the reason why Africa do not want to support you. You guys talk too much. At one point, people wanted to forgive South Africa. So I want to ask you, should we forgive South Africa and move on? Or you believe that no, round of 32, agenda must agenda? I just want to know. But then honestly speaking, South Africa are playing some good football. Good football. Apart from their first game, where they were outplayed, where they played poorly, received red cards, conceded goals, in fact, never had the backing of Africa, I believe their last two games have been perfect. Against Czechia and also against South Korea. It has been perfect. And I love the way they play. You would be thinking that, look, without Teboho Mokoena, this team is going to crumple in the middle of the park. But the introduction of Apollos and Mofiken, these two took control of the midfield and played so well. South Africa were a different team today. I was so surprised. And I'm sure a lot of people who watched that game will be surprised. I was so disappointed in South Korea because, Africa was backing you. And I know some of you had South Korean names. People had South Korean names prepared. People had South Korean names they were going to use. Only for us to watch that disgraceful performance from South Korea. It's just rather unfortunate. But then, good one for Africa, good one for South Africa. So, let me know what you think about that down below in the comments. Now, let's take a look at the table and how it's looking like. I'm just happy for South Africa, honestly speaking. Now, South Africa currently sits second in their Group A. If someone had told me this was going to happen at the start of the World Cup, I would have called their bluff, honestly speaking. So, Mexico, after 3 games, have 9 points, scored 6 goals without conceding. Second is South Africa in Group A. Having played 3 games, have 4 points, scored 2 goals and conceded 3. It's crazy though. South Korea, after 3 games, sits third in the group with 3 points, scored 2 goals, conceded 3. Czechia, who are out after 3 games, have only 1 point, 2 goals and have conceded 6 goals. So guys, this is how the table is looking like for South Africa, South Korea, Mexico, and also Czechia in Group A. Now, what this means is that South Africa's next opponent is Canada. Yes, South Africa's next opponent in the round of 32 is Canada. And it's going to be an interesting one. And I know it's a game that I'll love to watch. But then I believe South Africans have the right to enjoy this one. They have done well. This is the first time in their history that they have qualified out of the group stages. Yes, it's a very good one for South Africa because this World Cup, if you have noticed, a lot of records are being created and a lot of them are being broken. Now, what I'm trying to say is that South Africa in 1998, they were eliminated in the group stages. In 2002, group stages. In 2010, where they hosted group stages. 2026, they have qualified out of the group stages. And I'm happy for them, honestly speaking. I'm very, very, very happy for them. Now, moving away from that, let's talk about the game. South Africa scored the only goal in that game, 1 goal, and that goal came through Maseko. Now Maseko had so many chances in that game. Like it got to a point I was asking why hasn't he scored yet? But you just have to keep on trying, and then score a goal. And he scored that beautiful goal. He just had to do it perfectly because it was just chance after chance after chance after chance for him especially, and he was missing them. But that one he made sure to score. Now let me tell you something small in terms of records concerning Tapelo Maseko. Now Tapelo Maseko, who plays for AEL Limassol, is the first player from the Cyprus League to ever score a goal in the World Cup history. As things stand, this massive goal moves South Africa into second place in the group standing. Bafana are through to the round of 32. Now that is not all. Bafana's history at 22 years, 7 months, Maseko is the second youngest goal scorer for South Africa in the World Cup history. He sits behind the legendary Benny McCarthy, who scored a goal at 20 years, 7 months in 1998, writing his name in the record book. So guys, these are few records and also statistics concerning the goal that was scored by South Africa today. Now, if you take a look at that game, this is my tactical overview of how that game went. South Africa played so well. They knew what they wanted from the get-go. They were pressing, they were creating chances, everything was going for them. They just lacked the cutting edge. They were not clinical, especially in the first half. From the way they played, South Korea were more relaxed. They wanted only a draw because a draw would have sent them to the next round. So they were cool with a draw. And they were not putting much energy into the game. They were not showing any sign of urgency in the game. It got to a time it was boring watching the game and annoying because South Korea were not putting effort in the game. They were sluggish. And I was asking myself, if this is the South Korea people were thinking we're going to beat South Africa, then we should rethink the whole thing because they were not playing good. To the extent that they had to bench Heung-min. Like he's your star player. I know he's going to retire. He's aging, but then he's your star player. And I don't even get the whole thing about South Korea and the way they play today. I don't know if they didn't understand what was at stake today. The only time they took this game serious was after they conceded the goal. That was the only time they decided to take the game to South Africa, and by that time it was very late. Very late to have taken that game to South Africa. South Africa were content scoring that goal and they had to defend with their lives. So for me, from a tactical overview, I think South Africa were the better team both in the first half and also the second half. Even though after the goal, they had to defend. That is by nature what anyone would do. After having the advantage, you have to protect the advantage because the game was coming to an end. You don't have to risk it. You understand my point? You don't have to risk it. And I feel like today, everyone brought their A game. Even Sitole, he brought his A game. He received a red card against Mexico. He had a bad performance, poor performance. But today, he controlled that midfield. He bossed that midfield. He was good in that midfield. Mofo Kenk, the number 10, he's out of this world. Like, I think a lot of teams will be looking at him. This guy deserves to play in Europe. That's the honest truth. He's so good. He's so good. His decision making is good, passes are good, he's very creative and has helped the team a lot. And also Apollos, who was paired with him in that midfield, like they made everything move so quickly and it was good. Maseko himself, he was very good, but then he was just missing chances because most of them were falling to him and he was just missing them. Aside from that, I think this was a very good game, but then South Korea kind of disappointed us by not bringing the energy. They went with a weak mindset into this game. Look, if you wanted a draw, there is a way you do it. You play that defense. But they were not even acting like they wanted to play defense. They were just sluggish in the game. They were just, everything was dull about them. Attitude-wise, body language, everything was just dull. I kept on asking myself, is this South Korea? Like, Ghana has played against South Korea before, last 4 years. I know the South Korea Ghana faced. This is not the South Korea Ghana face. Like, This is not the South Korea you have seen in the first two games in the group stages. It was crazy because the switch off was quick. Like, it was, in terms of gap, it was huge. I couldn't even believe my eyes. It was crazy, but then it is what it is. The damage has already been done. Congratulations to South Africa. At this point, if you can't beat them, just join them. At this point, we need to understand that even South Africa are part of Africa. You understand? And we want more numbers in the next round. Right now, two African countries, it is looking good for us. But I hope South Africans do not take it as far. Because right now, they're still doing what they were doing. That's xenophobic attack. They need to stop. It makes no sense. They need to stop. We Africans are one. You need to stop all those things. It's nonsense. You need to stop. And I know they are going to celebrate, tease, do banter, which is fine. But the whole xenophobic attack needs to stop. It needs to stop. Because if you don't stop it, definitely Africans are not going to support you in your next game against Canada. No. Africans are not going to support you. And I know they are saying they are on their own, but no one has ever done it on their own. Just know that. But then, guys, once again, congratulations to South Africa. Let me know how you feel as an African. Honestly, disappointed in South Korea, but as a football person, I'm happy for South Africa. I mean, they played a very good game. They deserve to win that game. Simple as ABCD. My name is Adam. I'll make sure to see you in the next one. Thank you very much for watching. This is my honest opinion. Charlie, we go bye.